Hi, hope you are having a wonderful evening. This is Stacy signing on for a few minutes tonight to do another installment in my Life Untapped life storytelling series. Thanks for joining me tonight. As I said, I'm continuing my Life Untapped series, and what we have been talking about is the power of storytelling. Whether you are a professional writer or you aspire to be a writer, to write books, to write nonfiction pieces of literature, and anything from a blog to essays to other types of storytelling, maybe in your profession. Maybe there's some marketing storytelling. Or if you simply are a person who's wanting to get better in touch with yourself and understand the power of journaling, this Life Untapped storytelling series is for you. Thanks for joining in, those who are already there this evening. I see you there, Michael. Thanks for joining in. So tonight we're going to be pretty brief. It's Sunday evening, not going to hold you long. But I wanted to talk to you this evening about the power of empathy and how empathy can impact your storytelling and or your journaling. So when we think of empathy, most of you all know the definition of that. Empathy is the ability to, not physically, not tangibly, literally, but to take the opportunity to try to understand someone else's perspective, to stand in someone else's shoes. And so when you think about empathy in terms of writing, there's very much an opportunity there to express yourself in a way where you really, as a writer, show your readers another point of view, help those who are reading either your fiction or your nonfiction understand life from another perspective that they might not have considered before. But also, if you're journaling, there's an opportunity to take a step back, look at the people in your life that you're close to, maybe someone that you're struggling with or someone you're trying to understand better, and maybe use empathy to try to understand that person better. So, for example, in fiction, if you think about some of the most powerful books you've read, or if you think about some of the most powerful stories, nonfiction stories you've heard, what are those things that make you care about the person or the people that you're reading about? Is it because they're doing such wonderful things? Is it because they're sharing with you the challenges or the tragedies they've overcome, or maybe helping you understand their why? And understanding someone's why means you understand what motivates them or what has caused them to take a particular action. So if you look at that in terms of, again, fiction writing or a novel that you're crafting, think about your characters and think about doing what we often do in the real world. A lot of us who work in corporate America, and maybe some of you all even in school, you've taken personality tests. I know that I've taken a test called Myers-Briggs. That's one of the most popular personality tests. Well, when I am writing a novel, I actually do a Myers-Briggs analysis on my main characters and the primary sub-characters in a book. And what that means is I'm able to say my main character in a particular book might be ENFJ, which means that she is, outgoing, she's extroverted, she's feeling. She is a person oriented around justice. She has these characteristics that cause her to act in a certain way in a certain situation, whereas the villain or the protagonist in the book might be an INTP, which means that they're not a bad person, but they are an introvert. That person is more perceptive than feeling. That person is going to think things through and be a little bit more analytical. So think about doing a personality test such as the Myers-Briggs on your characters. That will help you not always bring your own voice or your own experiences as a writer, your personal experiences into your work. It will allow you to breathe life into those characters and help them become their own people. And as you do that, you're then beginning to ask yourself, well, if this character is an INTP, how would this character act in this particular situation? How would this character handle when this terrible thing happens or when this exciting thing happens? And so you're able to really craft the scenario or craft that chapter or that scene based on how that person would act based on his or her personality. And in terms of your personal writing, if you're not a person who aspires to be a professional writer or a blogger or something along those lines where you're writing for the public, if your writing is more geared to your personal writing, again, you can kind of take this sort of mindset into your journaling. Think about maybe a challenging relationship you're having with someone, and you just can't quite understand that person or understand where they're coming from. And maybe you're not going to go to that person and say, what's your personality type? But you can begin to assess those personality types and then begin to bring some empathy into what you learn. Like, oh, well, I'm extroverted. This person is introverted. That's why they don't want to hang out with me every weekend when I want to hang out. Or maybe I am type A, and this person is more laid back. So it doesn't bother them if the room is cluttered, but it drives me bananas. So you begin to kind of see other people not through the lens of someone doing something to antagonize you or not get along with you, but just based on that person's framework and personality. And as you think about that and think about those people in your life who maybe are different from you or very much like you rather, and you think about what those relationships are like now, how they can become stronger, and you journal about that, that really will help you come to some realizations about yourself as a person, and perhaps there can be some personal growth there, as well as yourself in relationship with those other individuals, and you can grow the relationship. So again, this is just a quick session tonight. I didn't want to hold you too long, but I really wanted you to think about empathy and the power of empathy in your personal relationships, in your writing, and in your personal or professional storytelling, because it truly can make a difference. And if you happen to be, say, a small business owner or someone who has to market your work to the general public, you can also bring those characteristics into your storytelling along those lines. You want to tell your customers what's your why. Here's why this product matters to me. Here's why this book, in my case, here's why I tell these stories. I tell these stories. I want you to care about my characters, because I think if you care about the characters that I'm writing about, it'll really help you be drawn into their stories, and you're going to read to the end, even if you don't agree with what the characters are doing. And hopefully by the end of that book, you've not only understood the characters better, but it really helps you think about the people in your life who mirror those characters, and you can understand them a little bit better. So again, this week, maybe take some time to research what empathy means, the power of empathy in storytelling, the power of empathy in your journaling, and also take some time to stop by my blog, lifeuntapped.com. Hope you'll check it out and be inspired by the stories there, and maybe even develop some empathy for the people that you read about there, in particular in the Her Story section. There are stories there that have been penned by women other than myself, where they've shared their journeys, and in those stories there's definitely some opportunity for you to find some empathy. Thanks again for watching. I hope that you have a week that is truly a Life Untapped week. And again, check out lifeuntapped.com. Thanks for watching.